collaborative between police and community leaders. Because people have to respect law enforcement. A family doesn't want dad or mom going home in a box. And for our community leaders, many of them think the system not only works, not only doesn't work for them.
I will warn you, I am watching the debate, so if you have any opinions, I don't mind you putting them in the comments, but please be nice.
Democrat, liberal, State Senator Nina Turner.
And I will also not be talking that much.
On recruiting, on hiring, on the use of deadly force, and what we're about to do is to bring community and police together so we can have a win-win. We need more win-wins in America, and we don't have to pick one over another or divide. We love the police, but we've got to be responsive to the people in the communities. We have to do all of that.
Senator Rubio, I want to ask you next. President Obama visited a mosque this week in America for the first time in his presidency. President George W. Bush visited a mosque after September 11th. You said of President Obama, quote, he's always pitting people against each other. So I'm
cemetery in this country, you will see stars of David and crosses, but you'll also see crescent moons. There are brave men and women who happen to be Muslim Americans who are serving this country in uniform and who have died in the service of this country. And we recognize that and we honor that. But by the same token, we face a very significant threat of homegrown violent extremism. We need to have strong, positive relationships in the Islamic communities in this country so they will identify and report this activity, especially mosques, for example, that are participating not just in hate speech, but in inciting violence and in taking acts against us. And I do believe it is important also to recognize, you want to talk about religious discrimination in America. Well, I don't think Barack Obama is being sued by any Islamic groups, but he is being sued by the Little Sisters of the Poor. We are facing in this country Christian groups and groups that hold traditional values who feel and in fact are being discriminated against by the laws of this country that try to force them to violate their conscience.
Earlier this week, the World Health Organization declared the Zika virus a global emergency. The same kind of mosquitoes that carry the Zika virus in Latin America are found here in the United States, and the virus has been linked to severe birth defects. Governor Christie, at the peak of the Ebola outbreak in West Africa, you ordered an American nurse who landed at Newark Airport be detained and quarantined. As fear spread now, the Zika virus, and with the Rio Olympics...
Who was showing symptoms. Don't remember what happened with that nurse. She was showing symptoms and coming back from a place that had the Ebola virus active, and she'd be treating patients. It was not just something like we picked her up just for the heck of it. Right? We did it because she was showing symptoms. And the fact is, that's the way you should make these decisions. You make these decisions based upon the symptoms, the medicine, and the law. We quarantined her.
I love these.
Ultimately, after 48 hours, and we released her back to the state of Maine.
Candy saying hearts.
On the issue of mosques. Now, I'm the only one up here who's got a law enforcement background as the U.S. Attorney after September 11th. I went to mosques throughout my state to build bridges. Between our community and law enforcement.
Well, it's not a simple issue, and now, we've gotten evidence that there can be active viruses in other bodily fluids, like saliva and urine. So this is going to be obviously a big deal. Do we quarantine people if we have evidence that they are infected and that there is evidence that that infection can spread by something that they're doing? Yes. But, just willy-nilly going out and quarantining a bunch of people because they've been to Brazil, I don't believe that that's going to work. What we really need to be, there will be other things that will come up. And these are the kinds of things that the
Can you say ham?
Can be very effective in. We need to give them the appropriate support for those kind of things.
Thanks very much, Dr. Carson. I want to move on to the military. Senator Rubio, all restrictions on women in combat have been lifted as long as they qualify, positions including special operations forces like Navy SEALs. Just this week, the military leaders of the Army and Marine Corps said that they believe young women, just as young men are required to do, should sign up for selective service in case the draft is reinstated. Many of you have young daughters. Senator Rubio, should young women be required to sign up for selective service in case of a national
It's a
First,
don't
let me
know.
say there are already women today serving in roles that are like combat, and in fact, whose lives are in very serious danger. And so I have no problem whatsoever with people of either gender serving in combat, so long as the minimum requirements necessary to do the job are not compromised. But I support that. And obviously, if now that is the case, and our Navy is about to be the smallest than it's been in 100 years. I think we need to begin to refocus on rebuilding our military, because every time we have cut our military in the history of this country, we have had to come back later and rebuild it, and it costs more, and it's a lot more chaotic and dangerous. When I'm president, we are rebuilding the U.S. military.
Thank you, Senator Rubio. Governor Bush, do you believe that young women...
Thank you.
Do you believe young women should sign up for selective service, be required
I
to
do.
so?
I do. And I think that we should not impose any kind of political agenda on the military. There should be, if women can meet the requirements, the minimum requirements for combat service, they ought to have the right to do it, for sure. They ought to be focused on the morale as well. We ought to make sure that we have readiness much higher than we do today. We need to eliminate the sequester, which is devastating our military. We can't be focusing on the political side of this. We need to realize that our military force is how we project our word in the world. When we are weak militarily, it doesn't matter what we say. We can talk about red lines and ISIS being the JV team and reset buttons and all this. If we don't have a strong military, then no one fears us, and they take actions that are against our national interests.
Tell me what you'd say to American people out there who are sitting at home, who have daughters, who might worry about those answers, and might worry that the draft is reinstituted.
Well, the draft's not going to be reinstituted, but why, if women are accessing...
Should we just do away with it?
No, I didn't say that. You asked the question not about the draft. You asked about registering. And if women are going to be supporting...
The draft.
But we don't have a draft. I'm not suggesting we have a draft. What I'm suggesting is that we ought to have readiness being the first priority of our military, and secondly, that we make